Hello, Brian. Hello, Prince. You guys check and see if the resolution, picture, frame, and the title of the talk and the usual things are there or not, because I have to leave the screen to do some stuff on the phone, and I don't know if it has disturbed the setting or not, unless I go back and check it. Thank you, Prince. I'm good. The only thing is that these days in British Columbia there's over 170 forest fire that it is quite concerning. Lots of people have lost their homes and they had to be evacuated from that area. It's about 2 hours or so away from here, but everywhere is affected. Even here, whole sky is hazy and the air quality is really bad. You can hardly see the sky sometimes, you know. At nights you can't see any stars. So until this forest fire is put out, life is not really as normal as it can be. Lots of activities have stopped, you know, people can't necessarily go to do their, you know, sports activities and so on. The air quality is pretty bad. So that's why I have all my windows closed, and when the air quality comes back down in the settings that we have here, like 1 is good, 2 is good, 3 is good, 4 is moderate risk, 5, 6 moderate risk, and 6 and 7 is high risk. So right now is 7. So my windows are closed, and when it comes down to 4 or 5, then I can open the windows and get some fresh air. But you know, sometimes you have to go out, and then you would. But I can see how it has affected people's lives, and especially the ones who are close to the actual fire. They're the ones most in danger. Here is, you know, is risk of bad weather, but it's not like it is the people who are actually hurting and in danger. And firefighters are day and night fighting with the fire, and I hope that we'll be able to think of something to avoid these kind of forest fires that every year we have, and in that way lots of lives would be saved and lots of discomfort would be avoided, and lots of costs as well would be saved, so on. Anyhow, so hope you guys had a good week and hope everything is good with you. Hello, Don, good to see you. And so we wait for people to show up, and we will have our usual 1-hour chat. Yeah, I have my auric air purifier going. I have a little fan that is going, so the air is okay. But the windows are closed because I can even see the haze. I don't want to beat that thing. But it has cramped lots of people's lifestyle, but still people go to their work and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys had a chance to a little bit deeper pay attention to your own understanding of your own psyche. Through all these talks, the whole point is you to become your own analytic mind, about your own psyche, and to know exactly what's happening in your mind, in your head, in your thoughts, in relation to your consciousness, to your ego, fear, and desire, and to be able to understand why you feel the way you feel, and then by that understanding you will diffuse the mood and disappointments and hardships that you may be going through, and the emotional turmoil and all that. You'll be able to handle it and understand it. So that's what we are looking for, to bring that knowledge out, so you will know the ins and outs of your own psyche, and then you'd be able to negotiate life better. And hello, Ritik. Good to see you, dear. Ritik says, "Sir, I'm so confused about the girl I like and about my future." Why are you so confused? Is future something that you had planned or knew exactly how it's going to be that you're now confused? It will be what it will be. All you have to worry about is the present moment. To do your best at the present moment, because that's the only reality. As they say, yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not here yet. So today is the reality. That's the only thing you have to worry about, and things will take care of themselves. When they become reality, when they become today, then you would worry about it. But right now you're conjuring up things that hasn't happened. You're worried about things that may never happen. But your mind, being the type of a organism, type of entity, type of a program that it has, is supposed to be looking for trouble. So it's constantly looking for something. And if it can't find it in the present moment, it will make you think that something may happen in the future, that you should start thinking about it now, worry about it now. As if you can do something now that will stop the whatever it's conjuring up. All you have to do is to worry about the moment, to make the best out of the moment, to do your best in the moment, be with the moment, enjoy life as it's flowing, enjoy the energy, become one with the energy of life as it's flowing, as it's growing, as it's coming to be, and become with that moment the living moment. Everything else is non-living. The past is dead memory, doesn't exist, it's only memory. You're looking at the memory and you want to react to the memory as if it's happening now, because you're thinking about the memory, so it's coming to your mind and you think that what you're seeing is actually happening. The memory, the fact that you're watching the memory is now, but the actual thing that happened in the memory that you're becoming aware of it is not happening now. It did happen and it's dead. There's nothing to worry about anymore. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing to be fixed. So therefore you can relax. So everything in the past is dead. It's not living. And anything in the future that you may think about, oh, what if, hasn't happened. It may never happen. It's again non-existence. The only thing is right now, and that's the one that you should be enjoying and nourishing from and interacting with, and see what you can do, because this what you do today is how it's going to shape what you're worried about, right? So do it right here, because today is the past of your future. Because whatever we are today, based on what it was in the past, it comes from the past. It has formed, the past has formed our present. So our present moment is the past of our future. So if we want our future to be formed better, let us do the best we can now. Like if you knew what to do as you know now, in the past, whatever it happened, you would do it differently. Yeah? So you do it better attention, and more care to it, or more methodical, or whatever it is that you think. So why don't we just focus on the now, do our best now. So this would be the past of our future. So then when the future comes, which would be now, then that now would come, you would have had done a good job in its past, which would result in a good now then. I don't know if I'm confusing you. That's my job. So Ritik says, yes, I have planned my future, but I like a girl so much I can't stop thinking about her. I think I'm ruining my future. So you think that one girl is your future. Why do you like her so much? What's so special about her that you think without her life will not have all its beauty? Is she the one who created this life? If she has, then she's the most important thing in this life. But if she hasn't created, if she's not the creator of this world, of this life, then she's just someone like you or like everybody else. She has her needs, she has her limitations, she's no God. But what has made her to become so amazingly interesting to you is the existence of your desire. It is not her, that it is by herself so amazingly, fantastically interesting and attractive. Because there are many people out there that may not even like her. So the fact that you think she's so fantastic is because you have something in you called desire that has been in touch and formed for her because you allowed it. You know, we talked about how desire forms in the past. Maybe you want to look into a video I have on the channel that says desire, and then it will explain to you. But the fact that you desire something, that something becomes special. Otherwise, that something by itself is not necessarily anything. Because so many people, that same thing that you think is so amazingly wonderful, important to your life, they don't even care about it. So it's really not that thing that by itself is so amazing. It is you and your desire that makes things to become so amazing. You know, in one of my videos, I use the analogy of you pass by and you see an apple. And you're very hungry. You have a desire for food. And you see an apple, that apple becomes so special to you. And you think it's so valuable. Why? Because you are hungry, you have a need, and that apple will be able to help you with the hunger that you have. So your desire, your need for that apple, your desire for that wanting that apple has given value to that apple. But next day you're full, you just came out of the restaurant, full tummy, all full, you see an apple, you have no desire for it. You have no importance for it. Somebody wants, if you have an apple yourself and you're full tummy and somebody says, can I have the apple? So sure, here, I'll give it to you for nothing. Or I'll give it to you for a nickel, for a little money. Or another day you have the same apple but you're hungry and somebody says, hey, can I have that? So you say, no, that's a very important apple. Because, you know, I'm hungry, I have desire for it. So suddenly same apple became really, so is it the apple that at all times by itself is so valuable, or its value depending on your need and your desire for it? So you now having nobody else to desire, to like, or to compare, and you have created this desire for her, and she has become the world, something that you think your future depends on her. Why? It's your desire that is actually putting your future into jeopardy. Change your desire or take a break from it, from this one, and then when you're ready, you know, give your desire to someone else. Because there are many people in this world that can offer you the same things in the same ways, if not better, than this one can. But you have focused your eyes on this, and you think, therefore, because this is the only thing I see in my field of vision, therefore this is the world. Because you have created that in your consciousness, and you can't see anything else beyond the frame of your consciousness, beyond what you have made your future, your reality. Therefore, you don't believe that anything else exists or can exist to replace this. Therefore, you have made this in your own mind, by your own doing, not by hers. Not by her natural value and virtues and anything else. You have made her valuable. So if it didn't work out, well, take that value away and just, you know, go and wait and you find something else as best, as beautiful, as wonderful, and focus on that, and then give the desire. Let the desire grow for her. So I hope that makes you think a little bit. let's see what else we have here. Ritik, I think that would be something for you to think about. Kyle, hello dear. Kyle says, thank you for your videos. Your way of thinking is really helping me accept my ex of 3 years leaving me for someone else. Thank you. You're welcome, of course. The same thing that I just said to Ritik, you can also listen to it again about what has made that person so important. It is not her necessarily, it's some part, but it is also more, is you, that you have created that interest and desire and accepted her to be that what you call amazing. Well, take that away and then she's no longer, because by herself, you know, it's not all her credentials by herself. Credentials have been given to her by you. So you're the one who has created her to be so important. This is what most of us do all the time. And when they leave us, you think something so valuable left. Well, something so valuable that you had created that value and been detrimental and instrumental to create that value in your mind about her has left. You're the boss. You're the master. You created it. Now, of course, there are other things, you know, the memories and so on. So we've talked about that in different videos. But in this particular point that I'm trying to make is to bring your attention to the fact that we are what creates that value in most other things. Other than our children. When it comes to romance, your desire, your program, your sexual program, your program for procreation, for intimacy, your genes, that's how it's been programmed. And you creating that desire, which we talked about how desire is created by looking at the video I have about desire that explains, then you will know that is what has created that interest. Your desire is what is making things to be as valuable as you think they are. Yeah? There are many examples on that, you know. You have a big diamond ring, and if you have no use for it, that diamond ring by itself has no value until somebody comes and says, I want to pay this much for it. Or I want to use it in this technology. So if there is no use for it created, appears, that can directly do something because of it, well, that diamond has no value. So when you want it and you want to pay for it, then suddenly it has value. I don't care what size it is. If nobody wants it, it's got no value. The fact that it can be used for some technology, for some use of creating something, or for someone who wants to have it for some reason, and suddenly they're willing to pay for it, or it creates a value, whether monetary or not. So, same thing we do with most everything else. A certain car, you like it, then suddenly it's a hot car. Other cars better than that one, but you don't like them, so they don't seem hot to you, don't seem exciting to you, because you haven't allowed it to fill any use for you that you have, or any desire having been created. Again, it comes back to desire. Now, let's see, what else have I missed here? Rishav says, hello sir, I am depressed about my life and also from all other sides. It's like I get insulted myself when I see my friends, worried about my future too. Explain a little bit more. Why do you get insulted when you see your friends? Because they seem to you that they have everything or something, or they seem to you that they don't care, or they don't have pain or problems, or they seem to you that they're happy, or they seem that they have money, or you don't. What is it that exactly makes you, insulted when you see your friends, or you do that yourself? And what is it that you're worried about your future? Please explain that to me. I'll get back to you. Now, we have Simha, who says, you helped me a lot. Oh, well, I'm delighted. Simha says, I have read books of Krishnamurti. Thought these books, I have realized that there is no entity called I inside my body. Good. That's the Jiddu Krishnamurti is where it's all at. I salute him. I learned a lot from him. Simha says, all that there is only thinking. Can you please talk about this? I have talked about this. There is a video I have in my channel on YouTube, which the link is up there in the title, called The Quality of Your Life, Watcher and the Watched, Observer and Observed, Controller and the Controlled. In that video, I have explained clearly about the relationship between consciousness and thoughts. And this is an elaborate discussion, but I would touch on it here a little bit. And I really recommend all of you guys to take advantage of the anniversary offer that I have done on all the ebooks. Because I have written a few books that they each have a number of things for us to pay attention to, and they're interesting. And many of you through the past year have purchased the paper version, which is expensive because it's thick and it has to be shipped. So this one, for example, is 600 pages. The Breakup Pain Handbook, forgot the name of it. And this one, so this one, paper version, is $108 selling on my site. And this one is, 360 pages, Me, My Psyche, and I. It's a very good book. And that one is $80. And Transient Thoughts and Me is also $80. About the thoughts that appear in our heads. We had nothing to do with it. We did not ask for it. We did not invent it. But it appeared, and we talk about that. And then I turned them into, because they were expensive for many people to be around the world who wanted it, and I'm pretty much running out of it anyhow, I turned them all into ebooks. And the ebooks are $34.99 and $26 and $19. And yet my whole intention to turning it into ebook was to make it affordable for everybody to buy them, because I want them to use them, not necessarily for economic reasons for me, which that is fine, but the purpose was to make it affordable, because many people in different parts of the world have different currencies. In India is a different currency, so if it's US dollar, it becomes very expensive. So that was successful in helping many people to get their hands on this book, which is my intention. But then I still want you guys to get it, and not necessarily economically for me. So therefore, I use the excuse of the anniversary of these live talks, and I have brought all the ebook prices to something that is equal to the cost of a coffee or a tea. So this one is now $4.99. This one is now $5.99, and this one is now $6.99. So I've made it so affordable that it is definitely not geared for economic objectives of mine, because by the time the PayPal takes their cut and the marketing company takes care, there's really no noticeable amount there. So therefore, my whole purpose on this rush for you guys is so you can get your hands on it. And nobody can have an excuse now from India or from Pakistan or from anywhere in the world to say that the currency exchange with their money and US dollar is going to be making it more, you know, expensive and difficult to get. Now it's just nominal. And since I've done it, which was just a few days ago, hundreds and hundreds of you have been able to get it and appreciated the opportunity for its low price. And I want to make sure you guys will all get it, because now it's not for me anymore, it's for you. So the prices are very nominal, no excuses. I want you all get it. Me, my psyche and I, or the transient thoughts and me, or the breakup pain handbook, whichever it is that you need. Me, my psyche and I is a book that I want all of you to have, which has lots of wonderful things, whether it has to do with the consciousness and thoughts, ego, desire and fears, or it has to do with meditation. It's got, or suffering. It's all in short pieces, a few pages, and it's a good book to have. So I want you guys to have all of that, so I don't have to constantly answer all these elaborate long-term questions, because I have done my job. All the videos explain everything you're asking, and the book is so nominal now, I don't want to hear excuses. So you guys go on it and get it and enjoy it. That's my purpose. I want you all to be able to have it. Now, having said that, I would like to discuss this question that our friend just asked, which is about thought. So Simha says, okay, just stop sending your questions so I can see this one. Okay, so you guys make me lose the question. Stop it for a second. I want to see what this question was so I can get back to it. Okay. All right. Sima says that, can you talk about that all there is thought? So, having introduced you the video that I have on my channel, The Quality of Your Life, Watcher and the Watched, I want to explain to you the relationship between your consciousness and your thoughts. So, here it is. You know, we go back a few thousand years, like maybe 30, 40, 50,000 years. I don't know how many thousand years, so don't quote on me, I don't know. But when the caveman just began to understand that there are things to learn or experience. So, let's say it got to the point that they were able to have this ability of reasoning or experiencing or understanding. So let's say, you know, we just make a fictitious scenario. The caveman one day comes out of the cave and steps on some kind of a rock, which turns his footing not balanced, or maybe the grass or ground underneath his feet was wet and slippery, and he puts his foot not so solid and slips or loses his balance and falls and hits his ankle or hurts his ankle or hits his knee. That was an action. From that action, he noticed that if this happens, if he puts his foot not so solid, straight, or puts it on a rock that is wobbling, he falls, and then his knee can hit and can get hurt. So from that action that happened, he got an experience. From that experience, he accumulated knowledge. He got a knowledge. It was a knowledge. Came knowledge. And that knowledge was recorded in his consciousness, in his brain. It became a knowledge that was recorded. Because we record 24/7. We're a recorder. We record everything. And that's how action to experience becomes knowledge, and knowledge is recorded, because we record things. And then something else happened, maybe way before this caveman came out and experienced this. Maybe he went and took an apple and he bit into it, and that was an action, and then experience of the apple, and the hell broke loose. So you know the story of the apple and Adam and Eve. If that was the case, that's what happened. But again, a knowledge, an action of the apple, taking it, biting it, tasting it, experiencing it, and the knowledge if it's edible, whatever knowledge comes from it, is recorded. Something else happens the next day. He sees a wild animal, is about to, he feels the instinct feeling of that it's a danger, so he has to run. So action, experience, and running to safety. He got the knowledge about this animal and what can happen. So many other things, constantly actions happened, some experience from it came, and then some knowledge was recorded in his memory. And all these things that he became exposed to, experienced, or saw somebody else go through it. Something is happening over there. Some animals attacking somebody and eating that person, or what happens that person did. All these things that personally or somehow saw the action and experience of it and got knowledge from it, recorded. Eventually, all these recording constantly added to his memory, and the memory became something that he accumulated, things that he knew about. It's called the field of the known. Field of the known. And hence, consciousness. Now, interestingly enough, in this field of the known, in this memory, in this consciousness, where his knowledge, we say field of the known. From the field of the known, thought is born. Whatever you think is coming from your memory, is coming from your consciousness, is coming from the content of your consciousness, is coming from all the books you read and the things people told you, experiences you personally had or saw, or movies you watched, or traditions that have been instilled in you from childhood, the rules and regulations of where you live, the religions that you belong to. All that information have been recorded, and you've been conditioned, and all that has become the things that you know. So we call the field of the known. The field of the known is where all your thoughts are born. So from a thought, an action comes. From that action, an experience. From that experience, a knowledge. That knowledge is recorded. That knowledge is recorded and added to the field of the known. Added to the content of your consciousness. Now again, from that particular knowledge or other knowledge, another action and experience. And there's a knowledge coming from that experience. And that is also recorded. And from that knowledge that is recorded in your memory, another action can be produced. And from that action, another experience. From that experience, another knowledge. And that again added in there. So again, which all of that results in your consciousness. So, can we say then consciousness, your field of the known, is actually controlling what thoughts comes up. Because thoughts coming from the field of the known, from whatever is experienced and in the form of knowledge have been recorded in your memory from this consciousness, in this consciousness, in this field of the known. And from that, what is accumulated here, I call it here because you guys can easily recognize what I'm trying to say. From all that is accumulated here, that's where thought is born. Like you have a field of agriculture and you put a seed, that seed is growing in that field. each seed is a thought, but the whole field is your consciousness. Yeah, just so you understand. But in reality, so I will be able to deliver this point. That would be something I use for delivering something else. But here, if you think about that, your thoughts therefore are growing in the field of the known, which is your consciousness, and then from that thought that came from field of the known, there's an action, there's an experience, there's a knowledge, then that is recorded in the consciousness, and from that another action comes. So is it the actual consciousness that gave you the opportunity of thinking, or is it the thought that because of it growing, a thought appearing, led to action, led to experience, led to knowledge? Consciousness is born. So is it the consciousness, the field of the known, that is controlling the kind of thoughts that can come up? Or is it the thought that because it appears and results in action, experience, knowledge, and is recorded, then the consciousness is created? So is it the watcher, the consciousness, who is watching the thought being born? Or is it a thought who actually is the cause of consciousness to be formed? Because it is a thought that causes the action and experience and the knowledge that in turn is recorded and becomes memory and becomes the consciousness. And then it's a consciousness that is field that has the next thought is growing. So is it the thought that created the consciousness, or is it the consciousness that is watching the thought? So in fact, it is the thought that actually created the consciousness. So the consciousness is redundant. So all there is just thought, which is accumulation of its resultant action, experience, and knowledge. We call that consciousness, field of the known, a memory. And then another thought is growing from it. We think this memory is actually the observer of this thought or this thing that we're observing. But in fact, this thought is the creator of the observer, of the watcher, of the controller, the consciousness. So really, all there is thought. The consciousness is redundant, is product of the thought. But we seem to be locked in to the limits of our consciousness and thinking that that is actually what is doing, observing everything that I think of, everything that I do, where the thought is actually why the whole, this field of the known, the consciousness, the memory, is created. That is what you are hoping, I think you were hoping for me to talk about. Simha. And I stop here, but for the full explanation, you can go to that video on the YouTube and watch that video, which would maybe be more elaborate, because right now I just want to make sure we get to the next questions. You're welcome, Simha. So now, getting back to the other questions that we have. Okay. Rishav says, yes, sir, that is the reason. They're rich, they are spendthrift. Oh, sorry, and another one. Dallas says, hi, Mehran, just purchased all 3 books. Can't wait to start reading the thousands of pages. Yes, Dallas. Now you got your work cut out. But don't read them as if they're novels. Just read them when you feel like it, and read a chapter, which is short chapters, or read a title of it, subject of it, a content, you know, one of the things in the table of content, and then some other day. You know, don't read them as if it's you won't absorb them, you won't enjoy. You gotta read them, think about it, enjoy maybe a cup of tea, and just read a chapter or two, and that's enough. And the next day, you know, it's like a delicacy, once in a while, little things, the subjects that you're interested in. Now you got 3 books. The way I've written them are very, very simple. It's like talking. I don't write sophisticate. And there's lots of elaborations. And you will get to know a lot about transient thoughts in the Transient Thoughts book and me. And the Me, My Psyche, now you have lots of little interesting things in there. And like what is time, time and thoughts. All interesting subjects that you would enjoy, I'm sure. Well, thank you for purchasing it, because that was my intention for you guys to get your hands on. So every time that you guys get these books, I get elated because I've met my objective by putting this out. Because these are not supposed to be for me. It's supposed to be for you. That's my way of trying to give something back to the universe, to the nature. Maybe it helps people, which I'm now convinced it has for the past few years that we've had these videos on the YouTube channel. And I'm grateful that you give me that opportunity to fulfill my goal. And thank you for that. Now, let's get back to the question that our friend had here, which I interrupted it. Okay. So Rishabh says that yes, they are rich, they are spendthrift, and whereas I don't get 1% as they do. Now, witnessing that with my eyes is a way too painful for me. But my parents don't care a bit. Please help me out to get out of this thing. Again, I'm confused, Rishabh. Why would it bother you that other people have money and you don't at this point? Who gives a shit? What do you think money is? Money is wonderful to have, but money is not you. Because of you, money has value. Money is not value by itself. Money may clothe somebody nicely and make them look as if they are of some caliber of knowledge or ability, but that is just an appearance. The actual person, when they take their clothes off and they get out of their car and go home, they still like you. They're hungry, they got to go to the bathroom, and they got to wash their teeth when they get up in the morning. They have to sleep when they're sleepy. They have to do their chores. You are confusing you and money, you and material things. You are far above these things. It doesn't matter which one of your friends has this or has that. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is, what is your connection with the nature? What is your connection with the universe? What is your connection with yourself? How you understand what you're put together, how you're put together, how you can negotiate the day-to-day life, and how you can understand and flow and manage what you will be facing with. That is not about what you have, that they spend this or spend that, or they go here, they go. There's all momentary snapshot of their lives that you're seeing, and then you think all their life is just perfect with no concerns of whatsoever. They've got more concerns than you have. The ones who have money are worried about losing the money. The ones who don't have money are worried about getting the money. So is there not a balance? A balance would be focus on yourself, learn who you are, how you tick, what's up here, how it makes you feel and act and react and do and negotiate your daily life, and then build something out of yourself and create some little bit of a wealth by your honest work and the things that you like and you enjoy to do as your job, and accumulate a little bit, bring some more comfort for yourself, and stop comparing yourself with any other person in this world. You are unique. Your life is unique. Your needs are unique, and you should not be needing what other people have necessarily, or you should not be thinking that you don't need anything or they have everything, you don't have anything. Your life is how you create it, and what you need is the limits of your desires. So your desires create your happiness or not. So curdle it. Curdle it to the point where you are, and later on when you have more capabilities to buy this, buy that, then you go and buy it. But stop comparing yourself with what other people have. Compare yourself with what they are is even wrong. Compare yourself with who you are, what you can be, what you wear, what you are, how better you can be. You can learn about yourself and how you can help yourself, how you can help the people around you, what you can accomplish in this life. That's how you gauge yourself, not this nonsense. Move on. Move on and don't waste your time. They're not the gauge and the level of your happiness or achievement. You are. You can be happy with nothing. You came in this world with nothing, nothing on, and you were happy, elated to be in this world. So you need nothing to be happy. I'm not saying go become a beggar and don't do anything to bring comfort for yourself. No, but I'm saying that you can be happy regardless of what situation of financial wealth you have in this life. That has nothing to do with happiness. That has to do with things you want to buy. And go make something out of yourself and get some money and buy, but don't compare yourself with anybody else. Now, let me get to another question. Ritik says, thank you very much, sir. This will really help me to come out. Your thoughts are amazing. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm delighted. Simha says, all this looks like a dream, and I also feel without this dream there is no happiness and sadness. Okay. Now, Simha says, Don Diego says, what's something that we cannot prevent despite following your advice? Things that will affect us emotionally, mentally, physically, etc., beside death. You studied the consciousness, so you know the limitations, and there will always be things that will affect us due to the fact that we are limited. What are those things in life that will inevitably affect us no matter what we do? Why are you worried about being affected? That's why we are here. If you're not affected, then you're dead. You're a piece of stone. The fact that you're affected is not a problem. The fact that you try to not to be affected is a robotic. You're a human being. Flesh and blood, feelings and emotions. It's okay to be affected, but to understand why you're affected, how you became affected, what are the ingredients or things at work that makes you affected, which is about how your thought and consciousness are connected, how they relate to each other, how they affect each other, how they work interrelated, how they're interrelated, your ego, desire, and fears, how they come into the picture, into the play. What are these all work together and how they make you feel, act, and react the way you do and negotiate your data? That's what you want to know. Otherwise, there are many things that can affect us. I can be affected in anything I go out. See somebody's in suffering, I'll be affected. Somebody is fighting with somebody, I'll be affected. Somebody is being rude to someone, I'll be affected. If they're rude to me, I'll be affected. If there are all kinds of things. We are supposed to be affected by things. That's what we are. But knowing about why we are affected and to be able to see it, that helps us not to be so affected as much, so severely and to be able to get out of it if we are sooner than later. Perhaps that's something that you can think about. I make the question and answers short because there's many questions today. I'm very delighted. At the same time, I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel and go to the playlist. There's about 50 playlists. Each one of them have many videos in there, and now we have over 520 videos, long chapters and long lectures and long discussions, and short ones to the size of a question and answer. There are over 520 so on, and keeps growing videos there that can answer lots of your questions. So please do check the YouTube video channel. It's under my name, and the link is up there on the title of this live talk. And also do visit the site mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com, and see table of content of the books that I put in there. And again, for the special anniversary price of very nominal, look at the table of contents, read the sample chapters, and even go further and look at the seminar I did for a local university last year. It's called The End of Fear, which talks about the relationship between thoughts and fear and time, and it's very interesting. So you can see about 10 minutes of it for, again, no fee, and the whole thing is 1 hour, which is like, I don't know, $8 or something. It's, again, worth to look at it. And also go to Facebook page and like the page and be aware of what posts I put in there for next live talk, or some interesting things and some videos that I choose to put in there so you can take a look at it. So all of that will help you to get to know more about your psyche, and also many of the questions that you may be having. Excuse me. So let me see. Sukhprit says, Dear Mehran, my best friend was into the relationship from past 7 years. They were planning to get married by end of this year. However, they broke up due to lots of parental interference. Well, that's usual. They don't call it interference, the parents. They call it, let me see, I lost you. Oh God, I can't open this now. The parents' interference, parental interference from boy's side. Now she's depressed and wants the guy back, but the guy doesn't want to be with her anymore. I don't know how to motivate her to move on. Well, you can simply go on my channel and find how it says how to not miss your ex, and just search it like that. There are lots of things of that sort on that channel, and just one moment please, on that channel, that can actually help you either talk to her about it, about what you find in that channel, or have her watch that channel, that video. But again, it is her that has made him so important. Number one rule for wanting someone is that if that someone wants you back. How could you want to be with someone that doesn't want you back? I don't care the reason. If I want to be with somebody, I want to be with somebody who wants me. If that girl doesn't want me, why would I want her? Because the whole idea is to be appreciated, be loved. The whole idea is not to be a slave of your desire, not slave of her, because it's not her really, it's your own desire that makes her seem so godly. So control your desire. You understand that it's not really her, it's you that you want, as we described it just a few minutes ago. So let her know that the first criteria for any successful or any desire should be that the two should want each other, to be with each other. Otherwise, if you want something and that thing doesn't want you, that person doesn't want you, why would you want that person? Don't you have respect for yourself? Why would you want something that doesn't want you? Do you want to wear a clothes that doesn't fit you? Do you say, oh, this clothes is wonderful, it's beautiful, I want it, I want it. And then you put it on, it's tight or too big. You still want it? The number one criteria for you to be fitting the clothes and you, to want that clothes, is for the clothes to offer you the basics, the first thing, which is to suit you. The color, the size, the cut, the design. It should fit you. If it doesn't, I don't care how pretty it is. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care whatever the hell it is. It doesn't fit me. It doesn't want me. I don't want what doesn't want me. I don't want what doesn't suit me. I don't want what doesn't fit me. That should be a simple first reason. Get this through her head, and if she has any understanding of what worth and value she has, she will have enough to start looking the other videos and move on. And Shoaib says, hi, I like the way you explain things. It's amazing. I had one question. Thank you, dear. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's about detachment. How to let go of attachment. And which book will help in this, by the way? Well, to answer the last question, which book it addresses what you guys may be looking at, is simple. Go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, click on a book, and you can see the book will come, and you can click on it and it'll open up for you, and you see table of contents. You look at every table of contents, every chapter, and you read the titles and see if these are the titles that actually has something to do with what you're looking for. So that already tells you if that book has what you're looking for. And then you can read, you can keep flipping, and it has a sample chapter. You can read one of the chapters randomly. And it's designed, one chapter is designed there for you to read, and then that will give you better information that I can here. And as far as detachment, well, again, you have to understand what your center is. What is you? What does it mean? Me, I. What is that I? What am I put together? What am I all about? What is center? What is me? What is my thoughts and consciousness? Because that's really explains a little bit closer to what center is, to understand how your consciousness is put together. Then what is fear and desire and ego have to do with this? What do they mean? What are they? So all of that information that I just said is in the book Me, My Psyche and I. And it explains what these are and so on, and many other things in it. So check that out. And the attachment and detachment, the question of it, has a lot to do with your understanding of thought and consciousness. Just as your thoughts are, you think they're attached to your consciousness, which they are, but the actual consciousness is actually made by thoughts. Yet you think your thoughts are being controlled by your consciousness. This chicken and the egg, but the question is answered by my earlier response to thought and consciousness. And that will help you to understand the question of attachment. Is it something that is real, a reality, or is it something that you think that you're supposed to be attached? That attachment is part of solution to your problems, and are you using attachment to solve your solutions, to solve your problems that you haven't been able to solve, which has nothing to do with being with someone, but you think that is. So is it really attachment a solution for what you haven't accomplished, or is the attachment is merely for purity of its own principles? If you understand all these things, you understand that you don't have to be attached. And if you're attached, to what degree, to what, and why, and for how long, and so on and so forth, and it happens to be severed, by understanding it, you would not be so devastated more than what you should be, or what is, natural for us to feel. A short response to your big questions. I understand that, but You got to go to other questions, and perhaps that would be something for you to start. But if you go on the video channel again, and there will lots of playlists that you can find relevant to your questions. And of course, the Me, My Psyche, and I has this understanding of thoughts and consciousness, ego, desire, and fears, and the relationship between time and thoughts, and time and thought and fear. And then for you, you understand maybe the reason you want to be attached or concerned about detachment is all about fear of psychological security, which psychological security by itself is a big subject, and 2 days would not be enough, let alone 1 hour. So I just touched on it. Psychological security, attachment, detachment, and the rest of it, what I said, is where your answer lies. So perhaps look at the table of contents of Me, My Psyche, and I, and you will see how that may or may not help you. It's all about exchange of atoms with nature. Okay. Now, one moment, guys. I gotta check something here very quickly. I'll be right with you. Okay, sorry about that. So, where are we? We are here. Let's see, what's the next question? Welcome, Dallas says, hi Mehran. Oh, we saw that one. Dallas says, absolutely, I will read the parts that I'm drawn to and let your words marinate in my mind. Okay, thank you, Dallas, dear. Sonia says, hi Mehran June. Hello, Sonia June. And Sonia says, I wish Mehran June was my friend in real life. Well, I'm your friend. I'm here. And it's always, by the way, guys, I don't know how many of you are in Vancouver. I have a book signing date with Indigo in West Vancouver on Saturday, September the 30th. So if any one of you would have the time to come and chit chat, by all means, I will be in Indigo West Vancouver branch in Park Royal on Saturday, September the 30th. So that would be an opportunity for us to have a chat while I'm there doing what I'm doing. So Jessica says, my partner has a friend that at one time he was intimate with. Jessica says, my partner has a friend that at one time he was intimate with. It bothers me. It bothers me greatly. How can I help myself to not be upset about this situation? I caused the lapse in it causes lapse in trust. Let me read that again, Jessica. My partner has a friend. That means he is still, or she, I don't know, whatever. That means, Jessica, you're saying that your partner, I may assume wrongly, but because it's lack of, you say partner, so I don't know if you mean your boyfriend or however your relationship is, has a friend that at one time, oh, here it is, he was. Okay, so your boyfriend had a girlfriend that he is still associating with her. Now that's awkward. Have you talked about this with him? Have you told him, listen, how would you have felt if you, Jessica, would still be associating with a guy that you were intimate with before you met this present boyfriend, and still socializing with that boy, that person? Just put this question to him and let him simmer on it, let him understand. Perhaps that would help him to see what you're going through, and talk to him about it, and then you make your decision. If that is really bother you, tell him, listen, hey, it's kind of weird. So what do you want to do? You want to keep your friendship? I understand friendship, you can be friend, but you know, it's not like, you know, we are all friends and you've been with somebody, but you guys are together now, and that friend still hanging around always creates this discomfort feeling. I understand that. So discuss it with him. Let him, the best thing for you is to let him, help him to understand what you're feeling. So if he feels what you're feeling by understanding the situation, communicate it to him, then perhaps you guys will start communication on the right foot. Brenda says, love listening to you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. Lovely to hear that. I'm delighted to hear that. So the ones who were not here when I was talking about the special anniversary offerings that I have done through my site on the ebooks, that the ebooks are now very nominal. They're $4, $5, and $6 or so. And the purpose of it is that I want you guys to have it, because naturally, you all know, at the price of $4 or $5, $6, there's no economical objective here necessarily for me, because there's PayPal and there's other marketing things, and there's really, the intention is not, let's say, I'm not getting rich from it. So my purpose is to make sure it becomes available and affordable for everybody from any country in the world, because I know US dollar and other currencies have their differences, and people in other places in the world, whether it's Korea or Pakistan or India or China or whatever it is, the currency makes it difficult. So I've made the price so low that there would be not a question of currency exchange and differences. So you can all afford it. Somebody told me in the other talk, is the price of a coffee. Yes, true. You go to any kind of a big coffee shop and you get some fancy thing is like $4, $5, $6. So now you can have these books, which they're elaborate books. They help you a lot, and you can have it on your reference library, and you can use it whenever you want. So please do go and take them, enjoy them, have them, and it's going to enhance your knowledge about yourself and help you to understand many things. So Brenda, thank you for being here, and everybody else who missed. Please look at the video again and understand why I want you guys to have it. Because when I wrote these books, it wasn't for me to hold them. Most of the paper versions, which are very expensive because they're heavy and for shipping, they're gone. I have maybe a few left. But the e-books, I made them to make them cheaper. But even so, they were $34 and $26, and I've made them now so nominal fee, so you can all have it. Not have to worry about the shipping or the hefty price. Have it. The ones who buy the paper version, well, usually if they want, I will sign it for them and write something and then ship it to them. That's fine. We still have some. But the e-books are the ones that I want you to have because it's cheap. You can have it and then use it, you know. That's the best I can do in order to respond to your hundreds of emails to say, I want to have the books, but it's expensive in our currency. So I've now done it, and it's up to you now. Go get it. And since I've done it a few days ago, many of you are actually taking advantage of it, and I'm delighted. But I want you all to know it's there. Go to the site and take it. All right, now, Ganzater says, good afternoon, everyone. I finally caught you on Facebook Live. I'm glad you're here. Let me pronounce your name. Kanzater or Sanzater or Chanzater. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it right, but it's an experience for me, and it's an interesting name. Please let me know which part of the world you're tuning in from, so at least I know where we're kind of the geographic way, how far we're gone. And Shoaib says, okay, so in continuation to previous one, should we really try to detach? Is it really possible? I'm not saying you should try to detach. I was trying to tell you what attachment and detachment challenges or interests are. What are they? Why you want that? The whole question of attachment, beside the fact that in our genes we're programmed for procreation and we have our interest for what we are, interested as far as intimacy goes and partnership goes and all that. Beside that, there's also a question of psychological security, because although psychological security is illusory, the elusive psychological security, but everybody is actually pursuing it. And the mere pursuit of psychological security is one reason that we'll never reach that psychological security, which is a chapter by itself. Again, I've explained that in the videos, and please do go on that and find the videos that discusses this whole psychological security and so on and so forth. But that has connection with what you're talking about, which is the attachment. Okay, now we go to Jessica. Jessica says he's still friends with an ex. Yeah, as I mentioned, that's awkward. I mean, he should know better. That what if the girlfriend would also want to have the ex-boyfriend hanging around? Would that be something comfortable for the boyfriend, present boyfriend? Put that question to him and see what it is. So now it looks like we have caught up with all the questions. I'm delighted. So if I've missed anyone's, let me know, but I think we have. You're welcome. Now, Prince, what is the time that we have here? Have we passed our time? I think today we were rather busy. We might have gone over our time allotment. Jessica says, thank you. You're welcome, dear. So let's see if Prince will help me to know what time it is. Ah, 12:53. My goodness. We sure have gone a lot. Okay, so on that note, I want to thank you all to be here. And sorry if I've kept you longer, but I think we enjoyed we were busy with the talk, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. I wish you have a wonderful week. Please do share the videos on the channel that you like on your social media, because that's the way people will get to know their support is available, and they will get to know about my work. And at the same time, please do visit the site mindthatseekstruth.com and visit the Facebook page, which the link is up there. On Saturdays, I have a Facebook page live talk here, and on Sundays I have it on another Facebook page, which I would put the post on my own Facebook page a day before, so you'll have the link to go. It's called the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page, which they have a reach of 5 million people. I would love to see you guys again, and hope you will have a wonderful week. Please be good to yourself and to the others, and do your best to be one with the present moment. That's where life is all about, and that's where life is taking place. Love you all, and talk to you soon, and be good to yourself, to the others, and see you later.